Alright. We are ready to go indeed. Here we are. My name is Protoss. I'm hereby joined by the Black One.
Hey!
How's it going, guys? We're sure great to go. We're about to have a great best of night series between Zoun and Armani, and I'm sure I'm super hyped for that. How do you feel about this?
I'm super excited. I'm already looking forward to seeing those two guys duke it out on the new maps in some epic PvZ.
Yeah, me too. Like, it's hard to say how much I like every single matchup of StarCraft, but this one, I feel like it's one of the most deep of them all. Like, every time it goes past like the 7-minute mark, things can get very different every time, so I just know that I'm going to enjoy this a lot. So we're gonna get into our first lobby. Like, we're incredibly on time today. What has happened to us? How did we do it so well? It's mesmerizing.
Well, we are already used to everything that the internet throws it at us.
Yeah.
So today, we just dodged every bullet.
Yeah. No hard feelings, Africa, right?
Oh man.
Everything is smooth sailing from now on. So we're gonna head on to the first map for today in just about a second. It's going to be on Submarine, so like, first map was on us, was our choice, and you know what? Better to start it out with like the most, I don't know how to say, like, this map requires you to be already warmed up, so let's see if the players are and who's coming ahead in the first game of today. Who's gonna get the better preparation for the first game. And we're starting in it. What?
Oh, they were talking so much in
What
the
did I
chat.
miss?
But the last thing that Zoun wrote was "Sai please," which translates to "Please not too hard."
Oh.
please be nice to me.
Yeah, I guess we can all hope that. Let's get into it. Wanna start out with introductions, my friend?
Sure. Let's start with the blue Protoss player spawning in the left top corner. It is our man from Alpha X. It is Zoun.
And in the bottom right hand corner instead, playing for a Freaks. Soon join the team, I think. It is the Red Zerg, Armani. So how do you feel about the current state of Armani?
I don't know, I like their handbags, but honestly the shoes are trash.
Yeah, right? Okay. Let's trash talk a little bit of Italian style, right? Why not? It's not like your co-caster is Italian, right?
I just thought I had to go for that one.
Yeah, okay. It was a good one, right? Like, it's only the first. We're going to get worse, and Armani is indeed going to chase it out a little bit. Like, this actually was a little bit on the early side, but I guess it is a way of avoiding the hatch block from the probe, since this map is incredibly short.
Yeah.
I don't think there is too much to read on this, right?
Yeah, like on this map especially, since it is so short, I would not like to play against some Glaive Adept build and not have my natural as my second hatchery.
So we're just assuming it's going to be Glaive Adept.
Well, it's a PvZ after all, isn't it?
Right. How fool I was, thinking it was not going to be Glaive Adept.
Unless you're Zest, you can be pretty sure there is going to be Glaive Adept.
Like, even Zest is sick of it.
Like, he goes for the Dark Shrine every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, Zoun. Cute pylon block over here. It's not like it's a big deal. I'm already quite surprised Armani has decided to go for this base over here and not the other one. I guess the longer we go on this patch, the longer we're going to see players deciding to switch out their openers. So I guess, I don't know, I don't have much of a read on this. I think it is slightly better against Glaive, that's all. Because it is going to be closer to your natural, there are less accessible paths, so you can spread your units in a little bit more coherent way. So that's my only read on that.
Yeah, like the triangular that base is closer to your natural because of that overload spot, which is just so huge and blocks a lot of movement.
But then again, it's not going to be Glaive.
He mind gamed us.
Yeah. On the other hand, Armani is making 6 Banelings just outside of the base of Zoun.
Well, Armani.
Oh my god, this is submarine, right? We were waiting for this. We knew it was going to happen. There is one Immortal almost had 5 gateways out of Zoun. Both players really getting on their aggression right now. If Zoun is able to survive this...
Oh my god, this was so amazing for Zoun.
Barely do not get that Stalker. Pro's gonna be put up in the fight, all position here on the wall, and the depths, sentries and Immortals are shredding everything down. The cybernetic score is going to go down. Meanwhile, I think Zoun is not replacing it yet. A lot of probes are about to die, but it seems like in the end, these links are not supposed to get any more damage. There are also 2 Zealots with this cybernetic score. He's gonna be back at this. And Armani surely wants to get it down, but yeah, it's gonna make 5 more Banelings right now. But that was as perfect as a hold as you can get.
Yeah, you could really see the Baneling nerf as well, doing 2 less damage to that Stalker.
Yeah. And Banelings are gonna try to get... Oh my god, that was a lot of damage. Gateway goes down, shield battery overcharge. But the links are now in the main and things like getting wild. There are a lot of gateways up for Zoun. Cybernetic score is up again. He needs some depth to hold these Zerglings right now. Armani sending a lot of stuff in Zoun's base. Zerglings everywhere. The cybernetic score is then again under attack. There is 1 sentry being kept alive, but this shield battery, more zealots, more stuff is gonna be worked in. Zoun gets the game. Too many gateways. That's it.
He just went for the I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I built gateways.
And you die. And that is exactly what happened. But okay, what a way to start off the series. That was interesting. I've seen like in the chat some people laughing at this. I think it was... Oh my god, like... Those Banelings not getting the Stalker was probably the biggest thing of them all, but then again, it is the reason why you have a Stalker in your wall and not an Adept against Zerg. So...
Well, Zest died doing against this, right?
Yeah.
In the I am Katowice.
Yeah.
So
he had an Adept in the wall though. Right?
Yeah. Pretty sure he did. And did he open did he build
he opened Twilight
shield
Council.
battery?
Yeah, I think he did, but yeah, no shield battery overcharge back in the days. So we're gonna go on Golden Wall for the second map. Of course, it's Armani choice. So it's not the first time I've seen him choose this map, like very early into a series. And the last time I've seen him play on this map, he just went for the golden base and then built a million roaches. So
Armani is hot.
yeah.
He really wants to go.
Yeah, do you remember Armani versus Impact series? Like they were spamming all day long before the game started. Yeah.
That one was so fun as well.
Yeah, I think Armani is just kind of used to that, and he keeps on doing this. Yeah, they are talking a lot right now.
It's like insane how much players can ride.
Yeah,
Like today when I got online and came into the group with Zoun and Armani,
yeah,
Zoun was already responding pretty quick,
yeah,
if not even the fastest of all the people inside the group. And I
yeah.
was like, okay, we're off to a good start. He's looking
Warmed up.
great.
Yeah. Those guys
And
have
then
fast hands, so.
and
Oh, and they
then
switch colors.
Armani starts the same thing. I'm like, okay, where's all that energy coming from?
Yeah, they're in their late evening right now. We're just barely woke up, so I guess it can make some sense. But let's get into introduction. So, he brought us some luck in the first game, so why don't you start again?
Well, on the map Golden Wall, on the right side of it, there is a player who spawned as a red Protoss. It is Zoun.
And in the bottom left-hand corner instead, you're looking at the base of the blue Zerg player. Hailing from Korea here on Golden Wall, this is Armani.
Can you feel it? I can feel it. This is going to be a great match.
I just feel like a million roaches right now. That's what I'm feeling. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. This is going to be a 430 lair, it's going to be a golden base, it's going to be a lot of roaches, it's going to be a lot of zealots, charge, it's going to be a standard game. With a golden base and a lot of roaches.
Did I cast this with you when Astria went up against Impact on this map in the GTC?
I don't think so. I've not been casting Astrea for a while.
Yeah, when was it? I think it was like 3 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
When Impact just went for Link Bust, and there were like Immortals with 50 kills, but it just wasn't enough because Impact just kept on rallying stuff across the map, and Astria was hanging by bare teeth onto those gateways and
like
pylons.
That sounds exactly what Impact will do. So
Yeah, right?
yeah, I have no difficulties believing that.
Let's see if Armani chooses to do the same thing.
Oh, again a robotics facility opener for Zoun. I guess it makes sense on Golden Wall more than in any other base, exactly for the accessibility to the Golden base that makes Zergs decide to go for a ton of roaches most of the times. But it looks like Armani is going to take the linear pattern for base, so no Golden base for the time being. Both players not really getting their chances, right? They're just gonna default to what looks like is going to be the most comfortable opener for both.
And keep in mind, he's not really mining that much gas.
Yeah.
So he's either going to get a ton of drones, which he is right now, or a ton of links.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of drones right now. Zoun is gonna get perfect scouting with the adept in the main. Just gonna check for everything. Drone count in the gas as well. That's a very, very safe scouting. That's like getting every single thing that your opponent could do and knowing how to react to it. So Zoun, perfect scouting. He knows what's up. He knows what he has to do. 4 more gateways being added up. That's a lot of gateways. 5 is even more.
He is feeling it once again. This is the same build we saw on Submarine as well. So I'm curious what he has in mind when he's going to warp in. He tries to dodge everything with his warp prison. Yeah. I think Armani should know either way though.
Armani scouted with like 3 gateways with his overload. That's probably already too many for him to not consider this is going to be some kind of a lane. He's gonna start 18 lanes. He's gonna make more roaches. And this Warp Prism can get some pretty nasty damage if the ramp is gonna get locked off by the sentry immediately. And
oh, lock it up! Lock it up!
No way.
Oh, he didn't
That
make
was
it.
a little bit of a disaster for Zoun. This Warp Prism is in serious danger. The Immortal is probably gonna be stranded on foreign territory. These ones that, oh my god, the Warp Prism range always is insane. And yeah, he's gonna survive with his Immortal. He's gonna lose only the actually, he didn't lose the Sentry. He's gonna lose one Stalker and one Zealot, right? Yeah.
I think he lost
yeah, they lost 3 Zealots. 4 Zealots.
Oh. I don't think this is what Zoun had in mind when he was going for that build order.
Yeah, definitely not. So 1 Immortal and 2 Sentries in the Warp Prism. This can lead to some interesting scenarios in the main of Armani, who's trying to place his units where he needs them. Right now his army is very strong. Like, I was feeling a million roaches and I had a million roaches.
Yeah, just only thing you were missing is he didn't get the gold base.
Yeah.
But joke's on you, I guess.
Oh my god, this Warp Prism, okay, it will survive. Recalled back in the base. Zoun probably is feeling a lot of roaches coming at his base. But, okay, there is a couple shield batteries being built over here. Shield battery overcharged. Is there enough energy? There is in the main. This is already going to be pretty rough for Armani. 3 Ravagers trying to do their best. Sentries will lock them off for the time being. Probably waiting for some more energy to clump up in those shield batteries. Getting the best chances. Zoun got... There are still 2 Immortals in a Warp Prism. It's going to be very rough for Armani to break this through, but his army is very strong. There is 1 Disruptor in the making. That could be huge. Forge being added by Zoun, who isn't really scared too much about this. This Warp Prism is still trying to dance around the army of the Zerg player. His Great Gateway is about to go down. 2 more vials will bring it to its early death. There are a lot of lanes, but there isn't quite enough to just rock his way forward. Armani decides to back off for the time being. He doesn't want to commit too hard into this, more than he already has. So there is 1 Disruptor already being out, I think. Yeah, there is.
He has it loaded up in the Warp Prism.
Yeah.
I would have loved Zoun to just snipe the Overlord that was giving high ground vision for those roaches and Ravagers, because as soon as that high ground vision is gone, your wall is perfectly fine, and if the Zerg still tries to engage, you just put down 2 force fields and there's no way on earth he is getting into your base with those 2 Immortals, those Zealots, Stalkers, and the shield battery. Like, good luck, Armani, killing that.
This is a very brave choice out of Zoun, by the way. Okay, this Disruptor. Oh,
my
please!
God.
Oh,
Oh my
3
God.
Ravagers down. That was a mesmerizing shot from Zoun. Incredibly good Disruptor control over there. This base over here is highly defended. There are a lot of sentries, 4 shield, 1 photon cannon and 3 shield batteries. And there are 2 Disruptors already out. Extended Thermal Lance almost done. First Colossus almost done. It's not like Armani will have an easy time breaking through. Guardian Shield gets popped. But of course, this is not going to help against Zerglings, just against Roaches. Armani backs off for the time being, and his million Roaches will transition into a Spire play with some Failing Nest being put into the mix. It looks like Zoun is looking for some block though. Armani supply block right now. This Ratchet Nova will only get a quick tumor. Not gonna be.
Zerglings running into the gold base of Zoun. At the same time, Armani is trying to engage, but the shield battery should be able to hold this. No, they don't.
Meanwhile, a great surround by Armani. Sentries are gonna keep the main army of Zoun alive, and actually Armani has lost a lot with these 11 more roaches in the making. Probed being caught up into the fight will hold for the time being at the golden base. But these Disruptors are surely as not getting the huge shots that Zoun was starting to get one of them actually went down in the surround from Armani. So right now the Zerg player maxed out is looking to find something. But I just want to take a peek at the upgrades. Because right now Armani has +1. Ranger is getting +1 air. And Zoun not really making too much out of his forge yet, just +1 ground weapons. But if he can get +2, this game is basically over.
Yeah.
You
know what I remembered? When you were talking about the Zerglings.
Is this on me?
Who's lagging? I couldn't see.
Yeah, neither could I. I don't think it's on me. Like it's been like pretty perfect.
Okay.
Well,
no further lags.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Let's all forget.
The thing I remembered when you were talking about the Zerglings and the Guardian Sheet being useless against them. Okay. Was Mana actually didn't know about this.
Really?
I remember an interview he had for IEM or something where he said, well, I only figured out when people told me and I was already like top 10 GM.
Oh, yeah. That's why we have our job, right? Because we know stuff about the game that is completely useless for the players.
We might not hit the timings, but we know shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you wanna know what happens when two Vipers abduct each other? I know what happens.
I've seen it before.
I've seen Vipers like basically switch positions with each other. So.
Oh, do you remember back in the days when people used to abduct Ultralisks into opponents' main bases?
Yeah.
That was fun. That was so much fun.
Luckily they have frenzy now, so Armani's doing a good job at keeping Zoun from getting his 4th base. Right now, Guardian Shield gets popped again.
Oh my god.
Armani's getting from 2 different locations. This Disruption Nova on the right is gonna get a lot of damage done. Force fields are gonna help Zoun stay alive for the time being. +2 ground weapons almost done. Another Disruptor in and making more gateways. Armani is just replacing his army with more lanes and more roaches. He has +2 air attack. But what does he have in the air? Absolutely nothing.
Armani coming in with 21 Mutalisks, and this is going to be a lot of damage coming in for Zoun, who has a lot of cannons at his 3rd base. But what do you have in your main? 1 cannon and the sheet battery against 21.
You will need to recall these Stalkers back home. Blinks gets used. By the time those Mutas get here, Blink will be off of cooldown again. The Mutas will try to heal the golden base. Blinking forward, those Stalkers will still be out of range. There are so many Mutas. 5 more in the making. Zoun actually supply block right now. These photon cannons are not really taking the damage, getting the damage that Zoun was looking for. Blink Stalkers will get a beautiful blink on top of them, but then again, this location is so abusable with their units.
Armani just is expanding behind all of this. Meanwhile, Zoun is struggling to get up his 4th base. He took a lot of worker damage. His army is not it is kind of sophisticated because Armani only has roaches with those Mutalisks, but at the same time those Mutalisks are just wreaking havoc at that 3rd base. The first cannon will fall even though there was a nuclear shield battery. Yeah. The other shield batteries might fall as well, and we are looking at a base trade.
And I don't think Zoun really has the upper edge in this. I really think those Mutas are just gonna shred everything down to bits. And if you were asking before this game, oh, I wonder if 21 Mutas with +1 can out damage a shield battery overcharge. Yes, they can, my friend.
Another useless fact.
Yeah, but now we know. So right now Armani just destroying everything on the side of Zoun. Both players really starved on workers. There are 2 Archons right here to fight those Mutas, but Mutas are pretty fast. Shield battery overcharge should be on cooldown right now. These shield batteries are doing their best. Archons trying to keep up with the damage Armani is dealing, but of course even them are going to go down. Zoun is heavily supply blocked, and Armani is just sending more stuff, more DPS through the map. Zoun doesn't have probes randomly spread on the map. He cannot make a pylon and survive. So right now, this is everything that Zoun will get, and Armani is getting a perfect base trade. His army is just too much DPS.
How many drones do we have left? Okay, there's one running away.
Yeah, they're just gonna make his structures left and right.
We have 2 drones.
Yeah, there are 2 drones. So right now, Zoun... Yeah, I don't think Zoun will survive this. Is there a pylon? No, there is no workers out. All of the workers are down for Armani, but he's building a hatchery in a random spot. He's making stuff randomly. Gateways are everything that's left standing. And Zoun will go down.
GG.
A little bit of an off-game decision over there. I don't know if the base trade was going to be the good thing to do, but in the end, yeah, the game was probably just over.
I think it was his only choice left, really,
only leverage,
because
right.
he was missing that 4th base for a long time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Death Aura coming in!
That's an interesting map to go for, especially if you go for that. But yeah, let's hope it's not going to be that. I'm sick of that. Everyone is sick of that. So, just right before we get into this one more serious, just wanna talk a little bit about one of our beautiful sponsors. Of course, I'm talking about G Fuel, the official drink of esports. You probably have heard about them a little bit in the past on our streams, on some spots. They have some pretty nice products right now. They're inviting you to try their new flavor. It's going to be G Fuel Bubblegum, new concoction, 0 sugar, packed with antioxidants and vitamins, with a little bit of a blast from the past taste, you know, out of those old chewing gums that we used to have a lot, like the early 21st century, I guess. So right now, they have also some sponsor quests, some Matcherino that you can check. Everything they have up on their own site. It's going to be a great feeling if you get one of their products on your taste buds, guys. So back you up with some energy and of course doing it so with taste. Shoutouts to G Fuel for being such an amazing company and an amazing sponsor. And we're going to go on the Flora. So what is the reasoning behind this choice? Is it just the depths? Do you think it is just the depths?
I'm not sure if he's actually going for adepts right here. I've seen Hearthstone go for a lot of Skytoss on this map because your four bases are just rather safe, and expanding after this is okay as well.
Also, we were talking about this a little bit in the past, like once you go past the natural, both locations for fur bases are very far away. And that means that air units usually can exploit this better, for obvious reasons that I don't need to explain.
Like imagine you just try to poke in with your carriers at the 5th base of Armani, which is somewhere across the map, and your mothership is going to the 4th or 3rd base.
Yeah.
Depends on which one he takes where. And mass recalls everything, and suddenly your army, as a Zerg player, has to run across the whole map. And that's probably like submarine size he has to run across.
Yeah. That's not going to be a good feeling. But let's get into introductions. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Death Aura, map chosen exactly by him, our very own Korean star. It is Alpha X Zoun.
And the blue Zerg player spawning in the left top corner. He just brought it back to 1-1. It is Armani.
Alright, Zoun being annoying with his probe a little bit after not getting the hatch block. Looks like on his own side just a standard gateway expand. Do you feel we're going to see some cheese in this series? Like, not just a Binley boss, I'm just talking about straight up like
Cheddar.
Nexus block, free gate.
I love that!
Like,
actually, I think I'd pay extra if,
yeah.
like, I'd be down to just pay like $10 onto the prize pool, $20
Okay,
if he
if
just
the-
went for a cannon rush
Oh
with
my God.
with Nexus follow up and some immortals and shield batteries.
Yeah,
I'd
just going
be
full
down for-
SOS. Basically.
I'd be down for everything at that point.
What was that game like in last season GSL in which I don't remember?
Bunny
I think it was
versus SOS? With
yeah,
the-
Bunny versus SOS. Yeah, the Nexus inside the base
Oh
of Bunny.
my
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking about. Oh my god.
It was on Simulacrum, right?
Yeah, on Simulacrum, yes.
Oh, I love that so much.
It
I was-
has to be my favorite game of the year so far.
Did you ever watch Florencio's games? Like
Yeah,
Pig likes to custom.
Yeah, also Winter. I like Florencio. He's a nice guy. Oh my god, on that
Yeah.
floor you can wall off with 2 buildings?
That's amazing. Right, I saw that yesterday when I watched some Hearthstone videos.
Yeah, he's the guy you're looking for to find out those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like Arslan for Protoss, Lambo for Zerg, and Special for Terran. Those are the 3 guys who know stuff about the maps.
Euthermal.
Euthermal as well, yeah, of course. Euthermal, yeah.
Oh, he gets that spot.
No!
Get the kill. No.
He can get it from the
4 HP.
bottom ground though. I'm
I think so as
blankly
well,
sure.
but isn't it a little risky at this point? If the links run out, you just lose your stalker.
Yeah. He probably is.
But you get that kill though.
Yeah, he has a Phoenix on the making, so... Like, come on. You cannot be that greedy. Yeah, you have exactly the 1 unit you need to kill Overlords, so why bother? There is an Oracle flying through the map. We haven't been talking about this, but it's going to be a Stargate opening, so Black One had it right. It's going to be some kind of air abuse. At least in the early game, this one Oracle won't get a lot done. Armani was super duper prepared for this. 5 queens. If there is one player who's going to overmake queens just to stay safe, that player is Armani.
Oh, I have some Zest vibes right now. We see the Twilight Council coming up after this Stargate, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is for Glaive Adepts.
Oh
Give me
my
Glaive.
god, you were
There
right.
it is.
It's going to be some zestish opener indeed. Oh, this Oracle is bound to get at least 2 drones before heading away, barely scathed by those queens. And this Phoenix is making it work. Trust me, it has already 2 kills. It's going to be 3 kills, like 3 overloads down the sink. It's like when you lose a unit, okay, this overload is going to survive. When you lose your unit in StarCraft, especially as Zerg, you have to consider the price you pay is way higher than just the unit. Losing an overload is not just losing 100 minerals. It's losing 200 for basically nothing to have the
Okay.
same thing. And meanwhile, it's also going to be less larva you can use for units. And okay, either starts the March of the Queens, by the way.
And a ton of roaches and a ton of links. Zoun expecting something in that regular area.
The
So,
shield barriers are
if he
going to
went-
be done in the natural, but I feel like Zoun just has to forfeit this. I'm not too sure if he can defend this, like, super street. There are not Ravagers, like, there are 4, actually 5. Okay, it is enough Ravagers to one-shot a shield battery. So, yeah. Oh, it is looking rough. There are 3 Oracles. but gone on to be
Oh,
3
okay, he
Oracles at
goes
least.
for the overcharge on the
overcharge.
middle one. Good decision by him, but there's just so much stuff for Armani. Or is it?
Shibari
That's
overcharges.
holding on
Done
really
now.
good.
Of course, now it's only Roaches versus Adepts. Glaives are done. Oracles are going down. They are out of energy right now. These Phoenixes are bound to get more damage. One Oracle still has enough energy. The third Oracle is about to pop out. And Zoun, what a master hold. Keeps his third base up. Loses
God.
only one sheep better. This was beautiful from the Protoss
Oh
player.
my god, that was so good.
Incredible play.
Oh, and the nuclear battery. Like, I
Yeah.
love how he didn't choose the one that was
Most
like
exposed.
closest
Yeah.
to the Zerg, because that one is obviously going to get piled immediately. So you choose one that is farther behind, because then it takes the Zerg longer and more movement to kill it, right?
And
So you
like
just
getting trapped in between, like there was a perfect concave of adepts. Like every single unit was placed at exactly where it needed to be, and there was a little bit of a choke point in that position. So I'm not too sure if that was the right spot for Armani to attack into. But yeah, like you had to give credit to Armani for having prepared an incredible build, but we have to give even more credit to Zoun, because this hold was a thing of beauty, really. There's no other way to say it. It was a perfect hold. Like if the game would have gone like past that spot, it would have been a disaster for Armani. Like it's hard to stress how much ahead Zoun was after this hold. He was miles ahead.
like he held his third base. He was up in tech. He still had like 10
ton of
glaive
army.
adepts.
Yeah, like 3 oracles and a phoenix still alive. Yeah, it was just huge play by Zoun. Very
I
deserved
love
victory.
this so much. That hold was just amazing to me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just amazing. But on the other hand, I don't think Death Aura is the map to go all in on, because
Yeah.
it is so big.
Yeah.
Like that's a big map. And another big map is the map we are on right now. It is Ice and Chrome, and spawning as the red Zerg player in the top right corner, it is Armani.
In the bottom left and corner instead, playing for Alpha X, hailing from Korea, our star currently leading the series 2-1. It is Zoun.
You know, if Zoun had played against Armani instead of Su in the GSL,
Yeah.
with this score right now, he would have made it.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to forget.
Hashtag never forgetty.
Yeah. Probably that. Like, let's all think about in 2 days we're gonna have our buddy Astrea making his run for it. And I think he has a really little chance of making it through. I hope he does.
He's confident in playing against stats, so
Stats,
if
yeah.
you're confident against playing
The best
against
Protoss in the
stats,
world, like you're probably good to go, right?
yeah, like I don't think there's any player that is
Yeah, if he can beat stats, and I really think he can beat impact. I mean, that's 2 out of the 3. Like he can make it through.
definitely, most definitely. Sad for Zoun to not get that hedge block right there. It was
Yeah.
so close, like just that 0.1 movement speed more, and he gets the hedge block right there. But as it is, we are looking at a pretty standard game so far.
Do you know why drones don't move faster on creep?
Because it would be completely imba.
Because they fly.
Ah! Why didn't I know this?
Yeah. Right?
You know what's amazing?
What?
The same thing is for Brood War, right? That's why workers don't trigger vulture mines, spider mines, because they fly. Archons don't neither, and vulture.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, yeah, they fly. Yeah, yeah. All the workers fly in their own way.
All of those units fly, and therefore they don't trigger spider mines.
Yeah.
That was the most amazing thing I ever heard about StarCraft Brood War, and I was like, did those developers really think about this back in
I think they did, like
1997?
Let's all remember the spider mines are actually one of the most broken things in Brood War. Like they are absolutely disgustingly imbalanced. And yeah, like I love this joke about Brood War. Like Brood War is one of those games, just like Warcraft 3, in which well, not like Warcraft 3, like most of the balance is made from the maps themselves, because like movement and stuff like that is way more important in Brood War than it is in StarCraft 2. But there is this joke about it, like StarCraft Brood War is balanced because everything is in balance. and I absolutely love it because I agree so much with it.
It's so true as well. Like, have you looked at, I don't know, the tank in StarCraft Brood War, or the
You mean the
Scarab?
13 range tanks? Yes, yeah.
This is so amazing. And like the fact that you have a debuff on attacking high ground.
Yeah, of course, that is super important. Okay, that's a lot of queens waiting for Zoun. Glaive that's built. He's not gonna commit over there. I'm not super confident about Zoun playing this style. He's Armani is making a ton of queens, he's making a ton of links, he's making a ton of roaches. He has everything he needs for that. Now these adepts need to commit. They cannot do that over there. More adepts into the main are gonna fight these links, find themselves a little bit surrounded in a little bit of an off spot. Most of them are gonna die, 4 of them are gonna be saved by the Warp Prism, but Zoun is not getting any damage whatsoever.
No, and he's not producing anything neither. If you look at the production tab,
It's just
there's
adepts, yeah.
only adepts coming, so he is completely committed to this. With those 36 workers, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I would have been surprised if he wasn't super committed.
Yeah, Armani is just gonna keep units everywhere, roaches up, and standing against those adepts. And then again, just look at the resource loss tab. Like, it doesn't even come close. 175 gas.
Don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. Okay.
Oh. That was way too close for comfort. Adepts, I'm gonna get a couple quick tumors, but yeah, the situation is not good for Zoun. Armani did make a lot of units, probably way too many. So he's gonna be behind on workers right now. But Zoun doesn't have a third base. And then at 6 minutes, that's late. That's very late. But these adepts are surely as hell not gonna commit. Meanwhile, on the other side, Warp Prism is gonna probably warping a couple more adepts. It looks like Armani is just setting up his all-in. Doesn't really care about making more stuff. He knows those adepts are not gonna fight his roaches like in a very efficient way. He's not scared about losing stuff back home because he has a lot of queens. He's now droning it up, but he can deal so much damage with just what he has.
Tell that to last game, Zoun.
Oh yeah, but nah, I don't think he has enough this time.
No,
those
I don't
adepts
think so
are
either.
gonna probably escape with their home base. Well, they're not. They're definitely not. Goodbye, adept.
Run, little adept, run!
They're trying their best, Black One. They're definitely trying.
Get in there! Get in there!
There is so much Zerg just outside these wall links trying to do their best. Shield body overcharge is gonna keep these adepts alive for so long. Perfect timing, but the pylon is gonna go down. Shield body overcharge still keeps standing, but it's 2 less gateways for Zoun right now, and the cybernetic score is unpowered as well. Shield barrier overcharge is done. A lot of units have gone down for Armani, who's losing 11 drones back home. to the War Prism and the Adepts. But this is so many Ravagers, so much stuff can go down in the blink of an eye. If Zoun is not careful enough, there are 3 Immortals with the fight. Lings try to dive on top of everything. These Immortals are doing their best to keep the Zoun going. Ravagers diving on top of them. One of the Immortals barely escapes with his life. And right now, Armani is backing off. So much damage dealt on both sides. These Immortals just refuse to die, as their name implies. And Ravagers are all that's left standing. Armani doesn't really want to lose them right now. War Prism back home to just play with those Immortals a little bit and get the last few Ravagers down. This hold was another thing of beauty for Zoun, who's getting a specialization into holding impossible all-ins. But the Cybernetic score has gone down. He has replaced it, but he has lost 2 gateways as well, and his wall is off. More Lings are streaming through the map. Armani is replacing the lost drones. He's getting a hive, and he's trying to do his best at keeping Zoun pinned in his own natural.
Behind all of this, Armani did start the layer. He is going into drones and into an evolution chamber. But what if he just doesn't manage to hold what's coming at him? There are 4 Immortals and they have a lot of firepower. Firepower.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of lanes are going through. That's a good choice for Armani, who was actually waiting for Zoun to move out and then backstab him with those lanes. And I feel like that's the only reason why Zoun is not in Armani's face right now.
Keep in mind,
he has to respect those Zerg lanes.
Yeah, keep in mind though, Armani committed hard to this attack.
Yeah,
he only caught up in workers now. He is ahead by now, but like he was down for a long time. He was at 31 workers during this all-in. This is not the position you want to be in as a Zerg. All the lava you spent was on fighting units, no economy. Now you spent all that lava into economy. That means your fighting units are going to take a hit. And with that push coming across the map for Zoun, this is not looking good for Armani.
I actually loved what Zoun was doing. This was incredibly clever. Zealot on the watchtower on the bottom right, and by that Zealot, he has seen the army of Armani out of position. He took his time to get his army into position here in the natural. Fighting in his choke point is actually huge for Zoun, who can lock off Ravagers with force boots, make them waste those piles, and then get a perfect concave Immortals. 17 kills, 8 kills, 7 kills. Those guys are really packing a punch right now. One more Immortal has 9 right now. Drones pulled up into the fight, but it's probably not going to be enough for Zoun for the time being. He cannot straight up kill his opponent, I feel. Oh, can he? No, he cannot. But in the end, the damage he dealt is already outstanding. Zoun can be pretty damn happy about the damage he dealt. Army supply, Armani is getting there, but he's lost queens, he's lost drones, he's lost everything. He cannot take a 4th base, and as a Zerg player, being on even bases is bad. It's
yeah,
bad.
not only being on even bases, he just lost another round of drones. But I'm not sure if Zoun is overcommitting right now. There's a lot of Roaches and Ravagers, and there are only a couple of Immortals left.
And now that Roach speed is done, it really loses too much to this. Zoun overextending way too much. He was going to be happy about what he did. Right now, I sure as hell think he's not going to be. This 3rd Nexus doesn't have a lot of HP. This shield battery is out of shields. Yeah, it has used everything it had to replace the Nexus shields. Shield battery overcharge can still be huge. Oh, War Prism survives barely. The rocks are gonna go down. Zoun is replacing what he has. How many gateways does he have? He has 9 gateways. That's a lot of gateways indeed. But right now, this position over here is very hard to hold. Armani gets the concave. A lot of piles flying down on the shield battery. Shield battery with overcharge goes down. The Nexus is barely staying alive right now, but the army of Zoun is not. That overcommitment is pushing him to the edge. GG gets gold. And one little mistake cost him the game.
I want to start crowdfunding, public funding to get all the casters go overcharged whenever that sheet battery gets overcharged. I just want that so bad.
Off the top of my head, I can think at least 25 casters who are not okay with that.
Rashi would probably join.
Yeah, probably Kozan would as well.
Yeah. let's make this an Alpha X thing. You know, like
let's not. Come on. So
I'd love that.
What map is Zoun going to choose? It's going to be a 2-2 series. I was thinking this was going to be a long series, and in the end, I think I was right. He's at least going to go to 7 matches. So, yay.
We are so action-packed as well. Like,
yeah.
All of those matches were just back and forth. Like,
yeah, and that's why I love to start a series on Submarine, because that's what you get when you start a series on Submarine. Everdream, okay. Okay. Back to basics.
I'm not sure if you want to go for the Golden Armana on Everdream.
Yeah. No, you don't. You really don't.
I think you can, but
yeah,
like, I think I saw Showtime do it.
I mean, if he gets to that, yeah, it can be good, but I just think Disruptor, Colossi, Archons, and all the standard stuff is just alright on Everdream. You don't really need to try to go to super duper ultra late game.
But you can though.
You can do it. It's not by any means a bad thing to do. But yeah. I love how Armani's portrait is a Pandaren dressed up as a Marine. By the way.
You know, I really want to see that super late game by those two players. Even if they are not too experienced.
I do want to see it too, but I hate to break it to you, man. I don't think we will ever see that, because those two players are just a little bit too straightforward for that.
Well, let's get into this 5th map either way. It is played on Everdream and spawning in the top right corner, representing Africa Freaks. It is a red Zerg player. It is Armani.
Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream. It's the blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X. It is Zoun.
Hey, cheers, claps. Hey. You gotta support our guys.
Of
Come
course.
on.
Oh well. Everdream.
What's your thoughts on Everdream?
I mean, it is as standard as it gets for this matchup. Like, you cannot really have a more standard map than Everdream. Keep on doing that.
But that was so cute though.
Yeah.
You got those 2 blocks out.
And that's so annoying.
I remember doing that
hate
to Zergs as a Terran.
I really hate when that happens. I feel like I'm the worst player on the planet when that happens.
I used to do a similar thing with Protoss players, and I tried to block their cyber core.
Yeah.
That's so much fun as well. Imagine doing that as a Zerg. You just drone scout and you block that cyber core in the natural.
And why don't you block it with an hatchery?
Right? You should always go for those cats or Bly strategies and just proxy a hatchery in their wall.
Yeah, or Star Killer too.
Yeah.
He's actually the one who taught me to do that. So blame him. If you ever met me on ladder, blame him. Blame Starkiller. Aside from the proxy arch free spine rush, that's Bly. That's on Bly.
Yeah, like you. I think that's actually pretty smart. You go for a hatchery block, then you can cancel the hatchery and build an evolution chamber there.
Yeah,
because
that's the standard one.
That one, like, I don't see players do that. And I'm like, hey, that's actually a nice thing to do.
It is punishable because once you do that, you're basically committed to an all-in. Because, like, you put your opponent into a position where he's going to be weak for a little bit of time, but he's gonna just be good after that. So you're basically telling your opponent, hey, I'm doing this because I'm about to want to kill you.
Yeah.
So it is exploitable, but then again, it's not like super easy to hold the follow-up. It really depends. I think it's a good build order, just about as any other build order is. It's like most players don't feel confident in committing too much these days.
Do you think you can pull off a 2-hatch +1 melee Ling bust if you go for that kind of play?
I mean, if you use cheat codes, probably yes. Otherwise, you're never gonna have the resources to have like more than 30 Lings. 30
yeah,
Lings,
but you don't need
me,
to because the wall-off is not going to be complete.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, 1 sentry still kills you. That's the problem.
Probably. Sentries are too broken.
Yeah, so
why
sentries
can
are
you
OP.
just terraform a map?
I love how once we see Twilight Council open and we stop caring about the game world altogether because we already know everything. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
Well, let's see how good Zoun is at executing this time around. He did do quite a decent job in the last game. He didn't lose those adepts.
Armani is supply blocking right now, by the way. That's interesting. Adept's not gonna commit. That's a ton of Zerglings already in position. This time Armani got the scouting he needed before the time being. Last game wasn't quite so sure about it.
This time around, Zoun is in a way better position
And
because
Armani's
he
in a
did
way
see the
worse
Roach
position.
Warren and he did see the timing on it. He already started his third and fourth gas.
Ooh,
he did start another round of probes as well, so he is trying to get a follow-up to this, and I might be wrong, but okay, there's Stalkers.
Yeah, it's just gonna be... It's gonna be the end of the Adept push right now. Stalkers are just gonna try to get some crit tumors. I'm actually surprised he didn't commit even once to this. Armani was supply blocked for a lot of time. Roach Warren was late. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on. The Queens already used up their transfuses. He's trying now to blindside Armani, but I think he's way past the point he can do that. Does he have Immortals
Armani
back
is doing
home?
the same thing as in last game and the game before. Is he just committing to this?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
that's
Okay.
Armani in a nutshell, to be honest. Like, he is... Oh, okay, he didn't commit to this. Okay, the Nexus on the third is gonna get cancelled. That's a little bit of a bummer for Zoun. This Stalker also gonna go down. Yeah, that, of course, he's gonna survive. But, yeah. And also the wall of Zoun in the natural is kind of off, to be honest.
Yeah, that gateway, it just doesn't seem right.
Well, Adepts are gonna commit over here or they won't find any damage, to be honest. 3 drones are gonna go down, a bunch of Zerglings as well. That's exactly what Armani was waiting for to commit. These Queens have a lot of energy. Zoun is not gonna take any of them out. And look at this, 1 Immortal is out. That's probably 3 Immortals less than you need to hold this. Third Nexus is gonna get cancelled again, most likely. There are enough force fields to buy Zoun some time though.
Zoun is so far out there and there are no shield batteries and he needs those shield batteries to stay alive. Another bunch of Zerglings are coming in from behind to get into the natural. They will be blocked, but now the surround is there and all the Zerglings are on top of Zoun's army. The Ravager is not even firing at those Immortals, but will take down the shield batteries right now. Two Immortals are trying to hold. The third base will most likely die, and he should have cancelled it. This way he is losing some minerals on that, but the pressure is just so high by Armani. He is committed to this attack as well. 24 more links on the production tab. A bunch of Ravagers still in front of Zoun's base. Oh, that cybernetic score is getting super low. It falls in the end and GG is called.
Yeah, I don't like Cleave Adepts anymore. Like, this build order is way past its prime. Like, everyone and their mother knows how to hold this. And the more I see Zoun do this, the more I see his potential being wasted, to be honest. I think, like, he's really not the player who should try to do these fillers.
Let's go for some fillers. Let's take a ride through the town and just do the usual anime stuff, like when Naruto helps out some old lady because she lost her cat or something.
Okay,
it's time for that stuff right now.
Nice. I mean, Eternal Empire and Pillars of Gold are left. Zoun doesn't want to play on Pillars of Gold. Of that I'm sure.
Well, he wrote fillers and he joined.
Of course, he's going to be Pillars of Gold. But what I was saying is, he doesn't want to play this map. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't want this map to be the last one of the possible last one of the series. Armani is, if he wins this, is at match point, and you don't want to play your match point on Pillars of Gold.
You know what I really want to see? I really want to see a DT into Arc and Drop build.
I mean,
I think with the new shield battery and the Queen nerf, this build should come back.
Do you think the Queen nerf is substantial? I still feel like they have a million range.
Well, they do have a million range, but now your War Prism is getting away like just a tiny bit faster. Yeah. And also the Archon would just never die with the nuclear shield battery behind him. Yeah, he'll just go.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happens to an Archon when there is a shield battery overcharge.
I feel like in that
which colors again?
they just really like to switch colors. I feel like at that point, if you are fighting against an Archon with a nuclear shield battery, a Zergling or anything that Zerg has must feel like fighting against Mike Tyson. You're just getting hit by those strong punches, and meanwhile your punches just do nothing. That must be the scariest thing on Earth. But another super scary thing on this planet is the Protoss player that spawned in the bottom left in red, representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
And in the top right hand corner instead, it is the blue Zerg player currently leading the series 3-2. It is Armani playing for a Freaka Freaks. So, we were talking about colors, and I want to share this little bit of a fact with you. Do you know that statistically red has a higher chance of winning than blue?
No, I didn't.
It's the reason why for a lot of time in the NFL, American Football League, you couldn't have a red shirt team, a red jersey team play against a blue jersey team.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because like it has a substantially higher chance of winning. It is like 56 to 44, like something.
Do you
like
think
to
that's
that.
like some primal thing where?
Yeah, it is.
like-
It is proven that it's some kind of primal. Like red is considered more dangerous, so you have a higher chance of winning because you're more threatening if you're red.
Oh, this is so amazing. I never knew that, but make sure to grab those red trunks in the future games.
Yeah,
Like,
and of
I
course,
am
when you
going-
play on ladder, don't make your opponent's color red, because you're gonna have a lower chance of winning.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I have my opponents as blue actually, and I play as red or orange. As you can see, if I just
MVP
click
Cup is coming up.
Yeah,
You know who's going to be the red player in
Oh.
every match?
I guess you.
Aww. I'll get beaten.
Come on,
up either
Zoun,
way.
why do you go for adepts again?
Okay, back to your cardistry.
Ah, I really dislike this. I really dislike this. I just cannot stress this more. Like, I mean...
Oh, yes!
Yeah,
Yes!
yes.
It's our template! Yes!
Oh, finally. Some
Oh my God.
Archons.
Did I say it? I
Yeah,
said
you
it,
did.
right?
You did
Oh
say
my
it.
God, yes! Once in a lifetime.
I mean, Archons are good units.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
And
best
Dark
units.
Templars are even better because you can't see them.
Yeah. Okay, so Zoun gonna go for some Archon drop, some DT play, and I mean, we're on Pillars of Gold. The distance between each base is huge. The concave you can make at the third base are huge. This map is a Zerg map. Like, it's the biggest Zerg map ever seen, basically. But then again, Archon drops basically defies all concepts of a map being good for Zerg. Because Archon drops exploit long distances and open spaces more than any other units.
Everything looked like Adept again. And then Armani just scouts the main and sees the Dark Shrine and you're like, oh.
Well, I mean, he is supposed to scout that. Like, there is no way he's not scouting it. Double Adept, I like this, of course. It's a little bit of a borrow from PvP over here. Gonna take a little bit of time out of Armani's units to be in place. Zoun's
They
War
are
Prism is
only
gonna be
starting
scouted
now.
perfectly, but it's going to be 3 Dark Templars. There is a Spore Collar here in the main, Larry is on the making, and of course these DT are going to just dance between the main and the natural, trying to get damage. In the natural
there's
there
no
is
vision.
nothing.
Oh, there is vision.
Oh, okay, there is. Yeah, there is no Spore Collar.
There's no vision in the mineral line though.
Yeah.
Can he not just walk into the natural mineral line?
Oh my god, this...
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh.
Ooh, okay, that was brave. That was very brave. One Dark Templar actually falls to his death. Larry is almost done. This War Prism is in real danger, but the Queens are exposing themselves a little bit too much. If he decides to commit a little bit more on their spawning pool, oh yeah, please do that. Please do that, Zoun. He's doing that. He's committing, and the spawning pool goes down indeed.
Yes!
And guys, spawning pool, you mean, oh, it's just 200 minerals. What is that? It means a minute and a half with no Zerglings and no Queens. A minute and a half. That's... like, that's a lot of time. Trust me, guys, that's a lot of time.
Okay, Archons, now punch those Zerglings! Punch them! Right in the face!
There's one Dark
No, they
Templar
deserve it.
over here, of course. Actually, 2 Dark Templars and a Zealot to keep those Zerglings from doing anything. Where is the War Prism? Okay, the War Prism has flew back home. I mean, it makes sense. He was scared about those lanes. I mean, there was no real reason to be.
Armani only remaking the spawning pool right now. He just started it.
Yeah,
So
that's very
those
late.
additional Zerglings will be super late. He has an evolution chamber and +1 attack upgrades on the way, as well as the roach movement speed upgrade.
Liar Reconstitution.
Thank you.
I love that name.
I was like, Galia something.
Yeah. Because it is actually, the upgrade was intended to be just for their regen, so that they regen faster when burrowed. So it's Gaia Reconstitution because they regen faster, and then they're just also faster. And then anyone just started forgetting about the burrow thing, and it's just kept being roach speed and nothing else, because no one gets burrow. So yeah.
Well, they did nerf burrow, right?
Yeah.
Like
a ton of times for good reason. Okay, those
looking
Archons
at you,
are...
Cyril.
Yeah. Archon's gonna get a little bit of damage. Gonna get a queen down. This Warp Prism will dodge those piles easily. Armani still has a strike force of Zerglings here in the bottom right to threaten here on Pillars of Gold. But yeah, we were talking about this the first time we have seen the map. There is a way for the Protoss player to just block off completely this side with 3 gateways and a pylon. So it basically becomes a little bit like Everdream. Just fighting there is bad. Like, you can hold those run-bys just as good. Fighting there is going to be dead. Don't fight there if you're a Protoss player. That's why he's engaging over here. That's a way better spot. Sentries have a lot of energy. There are a lot of Ravagers up, yes, but Immortals, of course, with 4 Archons, have a really hard time dying.
Yeah, this is so much damage that Zoun is able to put out there, yet there is a lot of roaches, and Zoun sees that, and
He said just to go for Immortals in the main. There is a Spire to be scouted. The Spire is placed in the third base. Probably Zoun is almost never going to see that. He needs some way of scouting, and he needs to see that coming. 2 Zealots are getting there. I really hope he sees that, because otherwise the game will just end just like on Golden War.
oh my god, Armani is gearing up to push that third base, but I believe with those force fields he might not be able to do that much damage, yet those piles get some nice shots onto an Immortal.
Archons are way off position. They need to be in the front and they're in the back. Armani gets a lot of free leverage to attack here at the third base. Zoun needs to position his units better. Right now 3 Archons are in the main force on the front, but it's probably not going to be enough. These Archons are still out of position. Armani is getting a lot of damage. Zoun is bleeding out, and Mutas are soon to come. +1 is coming. Ravagers raining piles on top of everything. Zoun needs to commit with his Archons. One of them has died basically without doing nothing. One of them is really low shield. The other is very low as well. 2 of them immediately fall down to their deaths. Shield batteries are just too far away. Dark Tempers were not doing what Zoun was hoping them to do. Those piles just destroying Zoun right now. And 12 Mutas are bound to show up. Armani is looking strong to get to match point in this game number 6.
I definitely agree. 20 links and 15, 12? How many Mutas were there on the
21.
production tab?
On this production tab, I think there. Yeah, he's gonna be 13. I think you were referring to game 3, to game 2. Sorry. Yeah, 21 is a scary number. From now on.
Oh, the Mutas are now arriving at that 4th base location at the same time. The main army of Armani is going into that 3rd base, and there's nothing to defend it. The Roaches and Ravagers immediately getting on top of the Nexus. So do the Lynx with those shield batteries. The pylon will go down, and so will the energy for those
shield batteries. Yeah, the army of Armani will indeed win the engagement. Straightforward. There are Blink Stalkers to get on top of the Mutas. Mutas still don't have +1, so it's not like they have a ton of damage. Those Mutas still 23 procs down. Oh my, Zoun. This is looking very rough. Mutas blindsiding. Zoun again, and they're gonna get probably the game-ending damage once they commit.
Yes, and there are even more Mutalisks on the way. The 4th base has been cancelled, and now it's into the main base. And
yeah, it's 24 mutas, by the way, if you're wondering how many it was. 24 mutas, killing Pylons with +1. They can probably fight those Stalkers head-on and win the engagement. But Armani doesn't even need that. He just needs to basically be on 2 places at the same time. Right now he commits on top of the Stalkers. These mutas just pack a punch. Everything is unpowered in the main of Zoun, and Armani will indeed get to match point.
I feel like Zoun would have, like, he needed to commit with this push out at the 4th base of Armani. At the same time, there was just so much Zerg there that committing wasn't really an option. Yeah. So he just came back to 60 probes, and what do you do from there? Like, Armani just crossed the map, he had the spy attack in his backhand, and
every single time Armani has had a little bit of time to just get his macro straight, he just overpowered Zoun too much. So yeah.
Yes.
But before we get into the 7th map of the series,
Eternal Empire.
Yeah, Eternal Empire. Just wanted to get a little bit of a shout out to one out of our amazing sponsors. So if you live and die by StarCraft like me and Black One did, there's a pretty high chance you're gonna be in your 25 to 30. You're going to be a man of style, you know. You're gonna have like some pretty nice beards, just like we have. And just talking about that, let's talk about Manscaped. State-of-art grooming Protoss features skin-safe technology that basically eliminates every nicks and scratches, and has a new replaceable blades to ensure that you always have your perfect shaving. They add that with some cologne, some eau de toilette, some deodorant, some aftershaves, and every single grooming product to be just perfectly ready for everything you need to go for your dates, for your job, on everything. You can also make sure to get on Max Arena and follow their sponsor requests and use their code at the checkout to get a 20% off discount on every single one of their products. Make sure to check them out. Manscaped, great products, great sponsor. Thank you for listening to one more of our shoutouts. We're ready to get on Eternal Empire. It's going to be the match point for Armani. Zoun needs to win 3 in a row. Eek. Ouch. Well, at least it's Eternal Empire and it's not against the Terran player. You guys are ready?
Let's get the party started!
Oh, I'm not so excited about this. I feel like Zoun is really struggling right now. Momentum has switched so much. Armani has won 3 maps in a row. It's not looking great right now.
No, not for Zoun, but
nope.
The map Eternal Empire favors that Sky Toss, so maybe if we are lucky and Zoun wants to try out something new, because the last games have been looking pretty rough. Maybe this is the one to go for.
I will talk about this a little bit once we're done with the introduction. Starting in the bottom left hand corner, spawning as the red Zerg player, you're looking at the base of Armani, Freak's very own player.
And spawning in the top right corner, he's the blue Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
So basically every single game, like I was saying it at the end of the last game, every single game Armani has had like more than 3 to 4 minutes to just macro. Is being insanely overpowering. So going for Stargate play means basically conceding your opponent the time to get to that stage. And do you really think it's wise?
Well, you're giving them the time because you're taking your time as well, right?
Yeah, you do.
And
An Eternal Empire is
a map.
pretty easy to defend as well.
Yeah, like your third base is pretty safe as well as your natural, so you don't really have to be too cautious when it comes to this. And your fourth base is pretty close to your third base as well, so is your fifth. So defending overall gets a lot easier on this map. Also, maneuvering with your air units is a lot easier than it is with ground units. So if you're getting all in any kind of way, your air units will just be way more mobile, even though they are kind of slow.
Yeah, it makes sense. We're gonna start to escape. Okay, it's going to be a Stargate opener. Which, yeah, sure, why not? Doesn't really mean it's going to go for that Golden Armada vibes. Oh, pylon block.
Hey!
Yeah, you got that. There are links already out. So this probably is gonna get a little bit of scouting. Yeah, not gonna get a further blocks. Yeah, that's a lot.
He's going for the bust.
Easy? How much gas does he have? He has still one drone on the gas though.
6 more Zerglings coming.
Yeah, he's really going for it, I think. Oh, 6 more.
Oh, come on, another one.
Oh, yeah, that's will
he's
catch
got
a
it.
glimpse. Well, more than a glimpse, really.
Did he see all those links? 14 more Zerglings on the way. But the Oracle will be so good in defending this.
Yeah, but then again, energy, you can just go away and wait until the energy runs out and then come in again. I really think that's the best bet at defending this. Okay, one of that is gonna get to run, and right here, just outside the wall, is gonna go down very fast. The shield battery behind this Stalker is gonna be of super duper important. The Oracle, of course, as you were saying, is getting a lot of kills, and okay, GG.
Well, he did win with that Stargate unit, didn't he?
Yeah, let's call it a Golden Armada on a budget.
The proportions of Stargate units to Gateway units were kind of similar to a Golden Armada game, right?
I hate that I cannot argue to that. I really hate it. So every single map has been played now. What is Armani going to choose? And why Submarine?
I don't even think he's going to choose Submarine. I think he'll go for Ice and Chrome once again.
Really? What are they saying? Everstream.
Okay, so he was asking, since all the maps were cycled already, if he can just choose one map. So
yeah, let's go on step support.
Circuit breakers it is.
Yeah. I would love to have like those Korean 4v4 maps in some of our pro series. I will actually ask Sushi if he wants to do that, like to be one of the tiebreaker maps, to be one of those 4v4 maps that they play on Korea, because I think first of all it's good practice. Of course, this season I don't think in GSL we have one 4v4 map, right? This season it's one every 2 seasons, right? Can you confirm that, please?
In where?
On GSL. The 4v4 maps, like last season there was that 4v4 map with the watchtower in the center and a lot of
Didn't we have one Yeah, it could be that it's one every 2 seasons.
Yeah, because I think in this season of GSL, all maps are 2v2, right?
I didn't fact check that, but I'll just agree right here.
Okay, okay, well.
And
by the
if-
way, when we have those 4v4 maps, I will make sure to have one in one on our best of 9 series, because I think those gave the best games, to be honest. I love those games. They're my favorite games in GSL. And that's the reason why I like GSL more than any other tournament.
I love 4-player maps, 3-player maps. I just love how much creativity they give birth to.
Okay, I was saying 4v4, it's just 4-player maps. I was mistaken, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But let's get into this game. Spawning as the red Protoss player. We'll see if he can bring it back on this match point. It is Alpha X's very own Zoun.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, looking to end this series right here on Everdream. Oh my god. It is Africa Freak's very own Armani. So, we have a hatch block and hatchery made in the third. Gas block and gas made on the other side next to the spawning pool. Right now, Zoun is really pissing Armani off.
Oh my god. I love this so much.
Yeah, me too.
Like the amount of annoyance one single probe can get out there. It's just so amazing.
We all know the probes are the best units in the game.
Of course
they can make cannons. So.
I always hear that argument.
It doesn't even come close. They're the best unit in the game.
Weren't they the best unit in the game in Brood War as well? Because they kind of had a range attack, and they could make cannons.
Yeah, but you know what? What is the best unit in Brood War?
That's a
real question.
How do you say a unit is the best unit? Does it have to be used a lot, or can it also just be for cost efficiency?
To me, the best unit in a game is a unit that requires your opponent to answer in the most committed way. Like, for example, to me the best unit, for example in StarCraft 2 is the Archon, because you need to have a very committed answer to that. Same as the Immortal and actually the Lurker. I think those are the 3 units you need to have the most committed answers to that. While Terran is the most you have all kinds of stuff. There is nothing like, oh my god, he has 1 tank, I need to make 10 roaches. That's not how it works for Terran.
Yeah.
So it has to be the Lurker, or probably the, how is it called? The Scorpion-like thing. Oh my god, how is it called?
Are we talking Brood War? Or?
Yeah, Brood War. Like the one.
Defiler?
Yeah, the Defiler. Yeah, it has to be one of those 2, I think.
I think the Defiler brings so much value because it is an energy-based unit, and you have Plague,
actually no, it's the Reaver. Yeah, okay, it's the Reaver. Yeah, it's the Reaver. It's by far
it has to be a Protoss unit.
Yeah,
why not the Carrier?
Because Goliaths are too strong.
Oh, I guess. But you snipe the tanks and then you just run onto them with your
Goliaths have 10 rage. Goliaths are very good, man. They're very good. They're better than 4s.
Did you happen to see?
Of course, it's Glaive Adepts, by the way. That's why we're not talking about the game, because we're on a break with Glaive Adepts. Every single time it's Glaive Adepts, we don't want to talk about it. That's how we.
Did you see Stork's matches in the last ASL?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
When he had that crazy PvT where he just lost his natural base
Yeah.
like every game
Exactly,
and went for
yeah.
carriers and somehow managed to bring it back. either way.
he's by far the best target player. I think he's an incredible player overall.
He
Then again.
is. Oh, I remember him competing in the GSL in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah,
I don't know which season it was, but he did the disruptor drop the first time.
yeah.
Like the first time actively seen by myself.
It is so close to how it is. Like Word Prism drops, Disruptor drops, and High Templars drops are a thing that is exactly like that in Brood War. Like
Yep.
having High Templars in a shadow is just the absolute standard, or Reavers as well.
Yep.
Because one storm kills workers, so yeah.
Like he played it against Innovation in the group stage, and he won against Innovation, which at that time was
A thing of
such.
beauty, yeah.
It was-
By the way, Zoun is getting quite some tiny bits of damage left and right. This time he's a little bit more versatile with his adept style over here. He's gonna get a couple drones that loses many adepts. His stalkers almost got a queen, wasted some of the energy. Of course, you have to respect those lanes, still shock him for some damage. But I don't feel like Zoun is that much behind this time. He's gonna get Blink behind this as well, which is interesting. That's at least very unique as a choice. I don't think I've ever seen Blink as a follow-up to this. Did you?
Let me think. I think Parting likes to do this, where he just gets a ton of sentries and blink stalkers, and then transitions into Colossi. He did this against Reyna a lot. Against who else did he do this? I think against Sue as well. But I didn't see him do it on Everdream. Every time I saw him go for this kind of style, he just played it on Eternal Empire. So I'm not sure if it's good on Everdream. I suspect it is, because there are a lot of choke points which you can force field for those fights.
I like how Armani is desperately trying to hide his units, and Zoun has seen every single one of them.
Sounds just really on point with his observer movement.
Yeah. Like those
Okay, so
lanes
we-
were escaping from the Warp Prism, hoping that they weren't seen, and the Observer wasn't even needed because the Warp Prism actually saw those lanes. By the way, those 4 Stalkers have done more economical damage in a single blink that every single Glaive Adept has done in the whole series, for example. I just want to stress this out.
This is so sad.
Yeah, it is. Very much is.
It's like when Terran players try to do those tank timings to deny the third base of the Protoss, and Protoss just got so used to it that they crushed it every game and then just walked across the map and killed the Terran. Now we see pretty much the same thing with
Yeah.
Zerg. Zerg just denies any kind of damage that those adepts could possibly do, and then walks across the map and tries to kill the Protoss.
So,
Because what else do you have except those adepts?
now that you had your goddamn nerves, do you think you like facing a million Ravagers more than Broodlords Infestors, or you stand true?
I don't know, it's still kind of cancerous.
Yeah, exactly. So let's stop nerfing Zerg altogether, shall we?
No, we don't go there. That route we don't go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna always make a million Ravagers and just straight up max out at 10 minutes without getting damage whatsoever and just kill you.
Well, we'll see how good your splits are when the disruptor hits.
Ah,
Let's see how
infested
good-
Terrans. I do miss you guys.
Ah!
Oh, disruptor!
Ah! Oh my god. How many kills
Jesus.
does he have?
50!
15! Oh my god. Oh, I love that unit so much. It has immense counterplay.
Yeah, it was almost silly. By the way, these Glaive Adepts right now finally getting some damage, but then again, Armani, 15 mutas in the making, and I'm not even sure the Spire was scouted. Where is the Spire?
I am not sure where it is.
Oh, it's in the third. Yeah, there is no way it's going to be scouted. Oh, he actually knows. He knows.
Okay, two. We get that. We get that Stargate play.
Yeah, 3 Stargates, of course, for Phoenixes. This time, Zoun wants to be prepared for those mutas. Yes, the ground army to react to the Ravagers. So
He's
I
also
guess it's in a
getting-
good spot overall.
He's also getting the +1 attack upgrade.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he kills mutas in one less shot, so it's very valuable.
Oh, but those Stargates will not be done in
What?
time.
Yeah, you
The
can chrono
Mutalisks-
boost Phoenixes and they will be made extremely fast.
Oh no, the blink forward with those Stalkers.
Oh, that was a
gives the
mistake.
Mutalisks just enough room, but that was a big brain move by Armani right there, going for the one Mutalisk in the natural,
If it's
baiting
go-
the blink.
If this
and
is
then-
Lurkers, Armani is literally 300 IQ.
Do you think it is though? Okay, infestation pit. So it
I
might
mean,
be lurkers, right?
Yeah, you have to get a hive to go Lurkers, because that +2 range upgrade is just too strong, just too valuable. And Armani has one hell of a bank, by the way.
He does. And we don't see a 4th base for Zoun, so I'm getting kind of worried for Zoun right here.
So it's not going to be Lurkers apparently. Groove Spines is in the making. 5 Hydras as well. I mean, why? Oh, I dislike this. Like, you always get... Okay, Lurker Den, here it is. You always get a Lurker Den when you make a Hydra Den because Lurkers are good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Period.
Can we just nerf everything Zerg has? Like,
Come on, yeah, Lurkers don't need a nerf. Oh my god, these tiles! Okay, they whip. Mutas, of course, they're not very good at fighting Phoenixes. And you can see over there that those Phoenixes will try to get a couple of Ravagers down. Of course, the Biles will need to be wasted, but that means the main army of Zoun will get forward way better. A lot of energy will need to be wasted by those Phoenixes, but it isn't really a waste if it forces our money back. 72 links in the making. That's a lot of Zerg links, by the way.
oh, get those disruptor shots out on top of those Hydralisks. Good splits by Armani so far, but Zoun is just pushing across the map. He's putting on the pressure. There are additional Hydralisks on the way. We don't see that many chargelets right here, or any kind of splash damage, or unless you count those disruptors, but they need to hit, and right now it looks like Zoun might just be able to push across.
Definitely looks like it. And man, do we have a serious Zoun about to just straight up roll over our money right now, I feel. These disruptors are going to be huge against the Lurkers as well. This disruption always gonna meet just one Hydra. Armani splitting his units perfectly. 21 links in the making. The range upgrade for the Lurkers. How is it called, by the way? I need to know how is it called.
I don't know. Let's see when the
When
upgrade
it pops
finishes.
up. Right now, Hydra speed is finishing. It's of course very important.
And the +2 melee attack upgrade, so
Yeah.
those bandings one-shot probes.
Okay, Seismic Spines is 10 seconds from being done. And that is all our money needs to get back into this game. To be honest, Lurkers are very oppressive in this matchup. Those Phoenixes will need... Ooh, Links!
Oh my god.
Okay,
that
two
was
probes left
such a
over.
good reaction by Zoun. He did only lose 2 probes to those +2 bandings. That's insane to me.
Okay, man. We have our late game Protoss versus Zerg you were waiting for.
Finally,
Zoun already has 3 stargates, by the way. So once he sees lurkers, he can actually get the transition into
I hope it does.
target units, Tempests or carriers.
Okay,
The
we
one
see...
thing that scares me is that Armani already has +1 air. He has upgrades for his Hydras. Lurkers are still pretty oppressive because they can, once tunneling close it's on, they're pretty fast. And they can get a lot of damage with +2 banelings. A lot of damage can be dealt. At this stage, Armani's army just has more potential. Ooh, banelings! Banelings!
Oh my god, that was so close. That was so close that all of those probes just die by one baneling.
Okay, 8 lurkers out, soon to be 11 lurkers. Both players basically maxed out. Colossi are very good against Hydras. Very good against banelings as well. +3 Colossi deal so much damage, it's silly. But those disruptors need to have perfect shots on the lurkers. I like the spread out of Armani in this concave way of placing those lurkers. Even though you most likely want to have your lurkers all together so that you can hit just in the middle of the army of the Protoss and kill 40 units in one shot, it is still going to be hard to dodge those disruption nova without tunneling close. Tunneling close? Oh, actually it is done. Okay, yes, tunneling close.
Macarena, we see the fleet beacon coming.
Yeah, it was kind of obvious. Let's all be honest. You need that Stargate transition right now. It needs Storm as well, by the way.
Oh, who's out moving whom right now? Zoun can just zone those units.
Disruption Nova will get so much damage. Those Vipers will get even more though. Lots of units will fall for Armani. Meanwhile, a Zeller run by is getting a ton of drones here in the bottom, in the top left. One more abduct is gonna get a lot more key units for Zoun, but I guess overall, since Zoun is transitioning to Stargate units, overall this trade is pretty nice for him. Let's all remember, amazing. Armani had a 3k bank just 2 minutes ago. His bank is gone.
The trade for Zoun was amazing. He did not only kill 2 bases, he also killed 19 drones with that.
Yeah.
Those will have to be replaced by Armani, and that means a lot less fighting power. And those drones are transferring.
Yeah, just look at the income right now.
Okay.
Lurkers are very good. Oh my god, these
Carriers and Storm.
Yeah, just the bread and butter Stargate composition. Lurkers trying to do their best against Zealots. They're not the best units to fight against. I guess those Zealots will get even more damage. It is silly how much free Zealots can deal.
Send another couple of them just to kill that hatchery.
Yeah,
I
think
want that hatchery dead.
There is one more run by soon to eat here in the bottom left. Of course, they're just gonna melt right now. Oh, or maybe not.
Oh my god! There's only one lurker.
And he doesn't have vision of these guys yet. Oh, now he does.
Oh, he has him on hold position?
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay, so how much anti-air do we have for Armani right here? We have 22 Hydralisks. Decent count.
Yeah, it is enough to play with abducts in a good way. Okay, Archons are going to be abducted to their deaths as well as one Immortal. Those Lurkers will need to go back home though, because Zoun is deciding to commit here. He doesn't really have a care in the world for his ground army right now. He can lose his units and don't give a damn about it. This base right here is under direct damage. These Zealots will fight the Hydras. Base goes down, Storm gets on top of the Lurkers, and Zoun just decides to fight elsewhere. More Storms, more feedbacks, a couple of Templars go down. But in the end, abducts are not going to be too much of a factor. That Storm was huge. Another great Storm. Abducts will go down, but so will the Vipers. And not much will be dealt by the Hydras right now. One carrier is about to go down. Disruptors are not a thing anymore. There is no more AoE right now. Recall, good choice. One carrier still goes down, but in the end, I still feel like Zoun got the better of this trade.
I do agree, but that one lurker is really causing a lot of trouble right there. He will get cleaned up, and we are looking at 52 workers for Zoun to 41 for Armani, and Armani is trying to make it happen, but I'm not sure if that is enough by him. The lurkers will fall definitely, and it is match point for both of our players.
Game number 9. We were saying this. I was feeling a game 9 this series. And I just, a little bit of a move we weren't stressing enough to me is like Zoun sniping down those overseers instantly every time and getting his observers to stay alive through the whole fight. Getting vision of these lurkers every time. It was just having the right game decision at the right time, keeping his nerves about him, and it's not easy to just remember to focus down the overseer so that your observer stays alive. It's like a very little thing to do. They worked out wonders. So Ice and Chrome, in the end, you were right. It was the last choice of Armani. We're gonna end our series on Ice and Chrome. Interesting.
Let's get to it. Oh man.
Interesting indeed. So Ice and Chrome is one of those maps that really doesn't favor Protoss to me, because it's a huge map with a lot of choke points, of course, that can be used by Protoss, but it can also be a good way to set up surrounds from the Zerg player. So it's a little bit hit or miss, I'd say. That's how I will define this map. It is a hit or miss map.
I feel like this is once again one of those maps where you could try to go for that air toss.
Yeah, but
right?
Yeah, you can.
Like, what are you going to do otherwise?
I'm
like,
actually expecting a similar game, yes. Let's all remember this game started with Glavedets, after all.
Let's just remember this series started with a Baneling bust.
Yeah.
And now we are in match number 9 of this best of 9 show match between Armani and Zoun, and the later one just spawned as the red Protoss player on Ice and Chrome. It is Zoun.
Losing 2 in a row right now, after looking so strong after a 3-streak victory. Playing for Africa Freaks, the blue Zerg player, Armani.
I have
Okay,
to say,
game
Zoun's
9.
late... Go on.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, so Zoun's late game didn't look that bad, to be honest.
No,
like
it didn't.
his-
Like, game decision was really on point.
Yeah, his army movement wasn't quite on top.
Yeah.
Because he did get that 5th Nexus cancelled quite a lot. But other than that, he usually managed to outmaneuver
Yeah, with Zealots.
Armani's army. His tech decisions were on point.
I
would've-
love how he knows right now that when Armani goes Spire, he commits to it, and he immediately started freeze targets with a game plan to get into the later stage and get to carriers. I think that was overall, like, Zoun was so prepared for that game. He was so prepared. Like, he knew exactly what he had to do in every single stage. Like,
That's
even
the
those 4
beauty.
stalkers blinking in the mineral line, I think it was beautiful. Like, I was joking about it, but I think it was a beautiful move.
And that's the beauty about like with those best of 7, best of 9 matchups, right?
Yeah.
Because during those matches, if there are no complete stomps, like 4-0,
Yeah.
5-0, something like that, you just have those moments where players start to adjust, and you get those strategy adjustments, like we saw from Zoun. He did realize after the second try of going for for the Glaive Adept build, he did realize, hey, wait a second, that doesn't really do it for me. So he started to adjust. First time around on Ice and Chrome, didn't quite work out. He did have the follow-up, but just wasn't right back then. Then in the last match, he did go for a follow-up immediately. He had the Blink Stalkers ready. He did do some damage with those as well. And he had the tech follow-up as well. He did go for Disruptors. He did go for Stargates in the perfect time. And that's just amazing. And that's what makes StarCraft so beautiful.
We have one Stargate in this game as well. Zoun, one Oracle on the making. Phoenix queued up just after that. Armani is going to see the Oracle once it pops out, I think. Really? Oh, what? He won't. Oh.
Will he?
No, he won't.
But there's a Zergling coming. Oh no, the Zergling dodges it.
Okay, this is one very lucky one.
He saw it with the the watchtower.
With the watchtower, yeah. Finally, Queens are very much in position, by the way. They were so expecting this. That's an early Evo Chamber for Armani. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Gas?
Wait a second. He's mining 3 minerals, 3 workers in gas.
How much gas do you need for that +1 melee attack?
100. Every single upgrade except for Carbus is 100.
There it is, melee.
Even Glide Reconstitution, Link Speed, everything is 100.
Can you just pull out those Zerglings now, Armani, so I can say those drones of that gas? No? Okay. So it looks like a macro game so far. Right?
I think it is interesting he hasn't gone for a lair yet. At 5 minutes? Okay. Yeah. Sure. Of course he just started.
He just waited for you to say it.
Yeah. He was watching the stream. He was like, oh, come on, say it. I need my lair. Come on. And then I said,
I'm already late.
Oh,
come on.
Finally, I can make it. Finally.
Okay, so Zoun also transitioning into that robo tech. Let's see what he gets off of it.
This looks so much like a 2018 Protoss versus Zerg to me.
Is this stats play?
Yeah. Are we on Automaton? And I didn't realize.
What year is it?
Down the usual explosion of gateways after the third base gets placed. 4 more, just standard. Nothing off the book. Armani will try to get some damage with those links, and we see the first stasis ward of the series right here. And we have Hydra Lin Bane. This is indeed 2018, guys. Everything looks wonderful right now. Martin Garrix is still on the rise.
Okay.
Cyril is almost a nobody. Raynor is too young to play in GSL. Everything is good. And Zoun versus Armani are playing Hydra Lin Bane versus Colossi Immortals and probably Blink Stalkers. Or is it Charge Ones? I don't know. Yeah, Blink Stalkers.
Blink Stalkers. Okay. Because I feel like Zoun should have the upper hand with his army composition.
Yeah, like both players, I think it's like a primitive instinct to just return to what has worked best for them in their lives. Because Armani for the first time playing Hydra Lin Bane, and Hydra Lin Bane is not as strong as it was a little while ago. Like, I mean, it is strong on Ice and Chrome. Oh, actually Oracle goes down. Like, because
Oh,
on Ice
two
and Chrome you can get
Colossi on the
4
way.
bases very fast. Sorry?
2 Colossi on the way at the same time.
Yeah.
So
It's probably gonna
I'm
go to
feeling this
3
for
and
Zoun.
then start disruptors. So plus 2 ground weapons on the making as well as plus 2 melee attack. Both players really just trying to not push their chances to forward. They're just playing very, very defaulty right now.
I really like this for Zoun though.
That's how I play the
Because-
matchup, by the way. Like, that's how I play the like both. What? My game just crashed.
Oh no.
Okay, can you stream your video? The actual. Have you paused the game, by the way?
You're lagging out right now.
What? How am I lagging out? Like the stream is perfectly fine. We can resume from replay if you ask the players, by the way. Like the game just crashed. Like there is nothing I can do. The game just crashed. And now you're invisible as well, for some reason. Why can not? Like you're not appearing to me on Streamlabs as well.
Okay, so Zoun and Armani agreeing to the
Thank you guys for your patience.
rewind. How do you do this actually? Never did this.
Oh, you just take the replay and. By the way, I'm just trying to fix.
Recover game.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because it disappeared from my stream for some reason. Window capture. No Streamlabs. Discord. Yeah. Okay, you're looking huge right now. I'm just going to fix it super quick. Professional streamer. Professional streamer. Professional streamer confirmed.
Where are they? Invite to game. Where's Armani? There he is. Invite. No, not to party. Remove from party, invite to game. I'm just way too stupid.
Oh, that was unlikely.
Zoun, please.
Yeah, you have to invite us.
Invite to game. Invite to game. Now all of you just have to. The player you are trying to invite is not currently accepting invites from players who are not in their friend list.
You have to, yeah. Did you invite me?
Yes.
Okay. It says enter into lobby and it's not entering to the lobby.
I cannot invite Zoun though.
You have to ask him to add you to your his friend list.
Now he.
Yeah, I have to restart the game again because the lobby bugged for me. Lucky streamer, indeed, and so lucky.
Today everything works out.
Yeah, and just in the last game, everything goes wildly bad because you also stopped appearing on the stream for a lot of time. I had to fix it on the run. Okay, can you invite me again? I had to restart the lobby, the game.
Yeah, invite to game. Okay. So do I just press recover game right now?
Yeah. Is everyone in their position? Yes, he is. They are.
Okay.
That's good.
Player left, game ended. 8:20 we said, right?
Yeah, at 20.
This is the first time I ever did this.
Yeah, it was exciting for me as well at the first time I did it.
I didn't know you could just
I
do
was
it like
so terrified I was by accident switching out the players. I was absolutely terrified of it.
I hope everybody is in their position.
You're terrified of it as well, aren't you?
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Calm down, calm
Come on,
down.
StarCraft, you will just put the right players in
Yeah.
the right positions automatically.
It does. It does. If it doesn't, it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all.
It's Blizzard's fault. It always is.
Yeah, the
David
game,
Kim, please.
I had like this big error on my screen. The game crashed for unexpected reasons, and they just like, here you can send the ticket. I was like, no, that's not the time.
Okay. But thank you to you and the players for guiding me through this.
Yeah, of course, thanks to the players for allowing us to resume from replay.
Okay. And we are back.
Yes, we are. Okay, guys.
But now I have the different overlay. Nice.
Oh, I do have the normal overlay.
Okay.
Okay, because you have in your options, you don't have a WSK mark for your league plays, right? Because yeah, when you resume from replay, it uses the replay overlay. Yeah, that's a thing that we are asking to fix like for like 2 years, and they never fixed it. But yeah, it's already nice enough that we have resumed from replay. Like Warcraft and Breward do not have that. So.
Oh, by the way, there is a Baneling job going on.
Yeah.
The Overlord is just there. And the run by was at the 4th base. It got frozen by the static ward. And now the drop is going into that 3rd base mineral line once again. Probes pulled just in the nick of time. And what are we looking at right now?
Apparently 10 corruptors. So.
Oh my god.
Infestation pit is already done. A hive is soon to start probably. Here it is. That's Broodlords, my friend.
It is going to be Broodlords, but do you think he's getting those corruptors just to deal with the Colossi first?
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, his army gets completely annihilated with our corruptors right now. Banelings, Lings, and Hydras all get bonus damage from Colossi. And they just die real fast, especially if the force fields are good enough. So those Corruptors are pretty much mandatory. Every time you see a Robobay, you drop down a Spire and you get a couple Corruptors.
Nice.
At least when you play this style. One Link is gonna pop this Stasis Ward immediately. More Stasis Wards are here, and they are gonna be popped as well. 2 of them get popped by a single Zerg Link. That was pretty nice.
There's so many Banelings rolling in right now. The Colossi are doing their best, but the Corruptors get on top of them. The juggling is so good though, and those Banelings all crashed into the Nexus. No real damage taken here by
Corruptors
Zoun.
are falling as well. Armani, of course, very early maxed out again. He had a great bank, but so does Zoun. He's soon to have +3, and he's looking very strong right now.
And the Remax is only in Banelings as well.
Yeah.
So Zoun could potentially just move across the map with some good splits on those Stalkers and the Archons tanking in the front.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
just
like
has
he's in a
T-Colossi.
good position.
Yeah, T-Colossi, I don't think they're enough to just break through right now, but he's soon to have enough. That's for sure. Flip Beacon transition. Of course, once you see the Corruptors, you know there is going to be a hive. You know that you need to transition into air because Adrenal Gland Zerglings are just insane as well. Your Stalkers are not gonna be of much use anymore. Neither your Zealots. Storm is on the way as well. We have basically a rematch of Game 8 right now.
I love it. We saw so many all-ins and aggressive plays that this time around we see we actually get to see the real macro game those two players are capable of. And 20 probes will down as well does the Nexus, but I don't think the army of Armani is going to get out of there, or is it?
I think it is going to get out of there. Those Corruptors playing a dangerous game, a bunch of them will go down, but it's no more Colossi for Zoun. I think this was a very sloppy defense from the Protoss player. You can afford to lose some of those units, but not that many. His bank has gone down the sink right now. He's breaking through with Archons, a lot of Stalkers as well. But Armani was very quick with his Remax. That's the point of having this kind of army composition. Once you get to many bases, you can basically do whatever you want and just remax with a higher stake of units.
Well, we see the Great Aspire coming in for Armani. Meanwhile, while the last fight was going on, Zoun did manage to snipe a hatchery, but there's another snipe on the Nexus and a fight at the third base.
Armani being everywhere at the same time right now. Shield battery overcharged to save this Nexus. Will he stay alive? Oh my god, yes it will. Zoun shield battery overcharged to save the Nexus. Warping 4 Stalkers and all the Corruptors are gone.
And those are 4 Corruptors less that can transform to those Brood Lords, the higher game unit. And we see a Lurker Den coming down.
Yep.
What do you think of the Lurker Den right now?
I think it's a little bit on the late side. I like to drop the Lurker Den basically almost just after I start the Hive, or just after the Hydra Den is done, or maybe together with Infestation Pit. Stunning it right now with the Great Aspire, you're forced to make a choice. So one of those two structures won't do anything for now. Armani is maxed out right now. He's a little bit starved on resources. He needs to buy some time to get some damage. But in the end, he will not be able to make both Lurkers and Blue Lurkers.
Why are we moving away from this base? He left that Nexus so unprotected, and now the Hydras and Banelings are on top of it. The Blink Stalkers will try to get in, but the Blink forward will most likely put them in danger to die by those Hydras.
Those storms were perfect on the buildings, but 28 probes have gone down. Those Hydras are not fighting that well. Of course, there are 5 Spine Crawlers here in the top left. Zealot Run By did absolutely nothing.
Did the Spine Crawler just bug out for you as well and just hit from the sky?
No,
like
he
one
didn't.
Of those Spine Crawlers just went up to the supply and hit from the sky to kill that one Zealot.
No, it actually didn't. I hope it did though. Probes fighting Zerglings, that's not what you want. Zoun bleeding out slowly but steadily. This is not looking good for the Protoss. Armani has Seismic Spines on the way. So he basically decided to go for the Lurkers and forfeit the Great Aspire. So in the end, the Lurker were his ultimate choice. The Great Aspire is going to be a useless thing. It got this game, but he got so much damage that it now makes sense to me why he decided to go for Lurkers. 12 Lurkers in a single Morphine. It's a lot of Lurkers. His big spines is done. Tunneling close is on the way. Those Lurkers are gonna be huge.
I really like the decision to go for Lurkers as well, because the army of Zoun was so Stalker heavy.
Yeah.
It was so Stalker heavy. Even if he went for those Broodlords, I don't think he could have afforded it, but those Lurkers beneath them, just to kill off the Blink Stalkers, would have been huge. Now he gets in a really good position with those Lurkers, and Zoun is zoned.
I think this game actually, this Lurker push will end the game. Zoun cannot fight this. There are no more storms. High Templars also getting damaged by these Lurkers. This one Archon in the Morphine will probably barely see the light of day. And right here on Ice and Chrome, Zoun needs to make his last stand. His units clamp up naturally, and that's not what you want against a ramp full of Lurkers. The fleet beacon transition is not there. The fleet beacon is there, but no unit coming out of it, of those targets, and this means that Armani is the winner of this Alpha X Pro Series show match. And what a series we had. This
It was insane.
was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
That was just straight up madness. Like how we started with a Baneling bus that didn't work and ended with 2 super late game or like late game matches in PvZ is beyond me.
It's just
I love it
insane.
so much.
Like, I really like how both players have played the whole series. I think both made an incredible job. I think that in the end, probably Armani deserved it a little tiny bit more for the way he was performing in the games he won. Zoun was winning some games quite decisively, but the games Armani won, the 3 games Armani won in a row, were absolutely insane starts. Exception made for the first game on Isynchrome that was quite back and forth. I think that Armani in the end, it barely deserves to win this, but it does deserve to win this. Like the score, I think it 5-4. I think it's a deserved
amazing.
score. I think it's
amazing.
exactly
Imagine
what the series has shown.
Zoun had made that transition away from the Glaive Adept all in.
Yeah.
More to the okay, I'll go for the Glaive Adept, but I'll also have a follow-up plan.
Yeah, it was it was a little bit sad, you know, seeing him go out in some of those games without really putting up a fight, when we have seen him being quite able to put up a fight to Armani. So
yeah,
both players really close in skill level. I feel that is, of course, a big compliment to Zoun, who's just showing up lately, while Armani has been a staple in GSL for the past few years. So it's very nice to be Zoun, to see Zoun perform so incredibly well against one of the most established GSL players. Even if he's not, like, Armani is not probably going to be like one of those players who won GSL 3 times in a row, Maru. He's still going to be a staple of GSL, and watching Zoun being so good against him is a sight for sore eyes.
I agree.
So it has been everything for today's stream. We had 9 games. I was so hoping we were going to have 9 games, and we were actually a little bit expecting the series to be so close. I wasn't expecting the series to be so good though. It was a great series, and it was a lot of fun casting with you, my friend. So if you want to say something, please do so.
Well, it was a lot of fun to cast. Thank you to all that watched, to all those Korean viewers. 오늘도 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 앞으로도 많이 응원할 수 있으면 좋을 것 같은데, 그때까지 감사합니다. 예쁜 하루 보내길 바랍니다. Thanks for the cast. Thank you for streaming this.
Yeah,
it was a blast.
I'm sorry about the crash for the last game. It was a
blast either way. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you very much. I cannot say that better than you, my friend. See you next time.